Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Corey. Welcome back to the channel. Have a very exciting hunt to share with y'all. I was able to pick up a FoxPro X24. It's an electronic collar. It's one of FoxPro's newest collars, and from what I've heard, it is great. The sound quality, all that stuff is absolutely great. So I was very excited to take it out. My experience as a predator hunter has been mostly hand calls. I've had a lot of success with that. I did have a Primo's Alpha Dog back in the day. Had some success with it. It had its limitations. Some of the sound quality wasn't quite, you know, looking back on it, it's nothing compared to the X24. And ultimately I ended up selling that. Now I have the Bullet HP as well. That was the next call that I got. I still have it mainly for the hog calls and the hog vocalizations, which I have some really cool footage from this past weekend with some hog vocalizations on that, so definitely stick around. And now I've got the X24. So this was the first weekend taking it out. Whenever I got to my first stand, I got out there a little bit later than I expected, than I wanted to, and before I even have my gun out, my calls out, anything like that, I see a couple of coyotes walking down a tree line about 100, 150 yards out, somewhere in that range, and I just wasn't ready for them. So I'm working to get everything set up. I get the calls out and I'm walking back to where my rifle is, and I see a really big hog walking down that same tree line, and I get back to the gun. I kind of follow him a little bit, hoping I can get a shot, but there wasn't enough clearing for me to get a shot that I felt comfortable taking. Probably could have hit him high, but I was just gonna see if I could follow him a little bit further. He went down in the woods. He kind of went down over a hill. The only way to get to him was gonna be basically to get right up to that hill. I could just see the top of his back with my helmet mounted thermal with the iRay MH25, or I'd have to circle all the way downwind of him or upwind of him. He would have winded me, wouldn't have got a shot. He would have busted out of there. So didn't have a whole lot of options to go in there and try and get him. What I did was I backed out. I set up on my Polaris. I've got a platform, a high rack on my Polaris Ranger. I got everything set up there, and I turned on the Convergent Bullet HP. I did the Boar Magnet call, and I'm talking within 30 seconds, I see this guy bust out of the woods, and he is hard charging. He is coming at me. He kind of starts circling downwind a little bit, but he's coming hard. He wanted to know what that sound was all about. So get a shot on him. Next up, I give it about 30-45 minutes to let things kind of die down. I'm in the same spot, and I start calling with the X24, and I call in a triple off of that. So that was a very exciting part of the hunt, and I'm just going to start showing you guys the footage. Leave a comment down below. Thank y'all for checking out this video. After we get done with the triple, be sure and stick around because we've got other kills that are coming up after that. So here we go. Well, so far we've had a pretty action-packed hunt. First got out here, saw a couple coyotes, didn't have a chance to get on them, got out a little bit later than I wanted, wasn't set up, wasn't ready for them. A couple minutes later, this boar came down this tree line here and he stopped down in the woods. There was really no way to get a shot. He was just over a little hill, and really to get to him, I was either gonna have to go upwind of him or I was gonna have to circle all the way through the woods. He would have heard me, would have scattered out of there. So I backed out, I got the Convergent Bullet, and I used the Boar Magnet call. As soon as I started calling, he perked his head up because I could see his heat signature. I could see like his ears down in there. I had a chance to shoot him a little bit earlier, but I could just see the top of his back. I was almost positive it was a hog, but I wanted to be 100% sure before I took the shot. So I backed out, used the Convergent Bullet, called him in, got a clean shot, dropped him in his tracks. Waited about 30-45 minutes, and I started calling with the X24. I just picked up the FoxPro X24, started with Cagey Cottontail, was scanning around, and then probably 50 yards, there was a coyote just standing there. I don't know how he got so close. Closest tree line is probably 150 yards. Anyways, I look up, he's 50 yards away. I get a shot, or he actually starts going away from me. I bark at him, he stops at about 75, 100 yards, and get a shot. He piles up within 20-30 yards. Immediately went from Cagey Cottontail to the Cagey, and that's the coyote distress. If you don't know, anytime you shoot a coyote, immediately go to that Cagey, and within, I'd say probably 20-30 seconds, the second one showed up, hit him. He started spinning, took off into the cedar trees. Never recovered that one. I lost track of where he was whenever I shot him, and just wasn't able to recover him. This third one here, once again, when I hit that second coyote, I went right back to the Cagey. This third one here hung up in the trees. He was probably 50 yards inside the tree line. He started doing the challenge howl at me, and so challenge bark. I immediately, on the X24, switched it over to the challenge bark and did the exact same thing he was doing to me, did it right back to him. I think that kind of pissed him off. He came up to the tree line, he started trying to wind me, or he was trying to win the call, but I was upwind of it, and he didn't have or I guess downwind, and he didn't have a chance. He got out there, shot him, he piled up right where he was. So anyways, all together, pretty exciting spot. We're gonna head to another place and see if we can get on some more coyotes. All right, after the hog and the exciting triple with just some amazing call sequences, and just seeing the way that those coyotes responded to that was just incredible. So after all that excitement, came to another property, got set up, and I was using the one of the woodpecker calls, I forget the name of it, on the FoxPro, and I've got a bobcat that I call up. And with these next with this next little bit of footage, you guys are really gonna have to refrain from making fun of me. I thought my scope was off, but honestly, after looking at the footage and confirming zero, I just wasn't taking my time. I made some bad shots and just flat out missed. But that happens to the best of us. You know, it's my first time out, first time shooting in several months. Probably need to get some more time behind the rifle, which I plan to do today after all this, filming all this. But anyways, call in a bobcat, and I don't know what happened. Missed that one, and I also didn't get that one on footage. But I come to another spot out here on this property. I get set up. Before I even start calling, I've got 3 coyotes just doing their thing, coming down a tree line, coming out in the middle of the field and mousing around, doing all that stuff. So I get the first one to stop, clean miss. Get the second, they're kind of scrambling, running all around, don't know what's going on. I get another one to stop, clean miss. And then the third time I've got this coyote, 75, 100 yards, there's a house directly behind him. I know it's back there. There's some trees in between. He's broadside, but I've missed a bobcat. I've missed twice, and I'm really second guessing. I'm thinking that in the drive from the first property to the second property that I've bumped my scope and it's off, or something's going on with it. So I didn't want to take that shot knowing there's a house you know, a couple 100 yards behind where this coyote's standing. Wasn't going to chance it. But he circles back around and he's to the east now. The house is to the north. I get him broadside at, you know, 75, 100 yards again. He's looking for his friends. He doesn't know what's going on. That's one of the benefits of shooting suppressed, by the way. He doesn't know what's going on, and he's standing broadside. I've got the reticle just dialed in on his shoulder. I know that this, like, even if the scope's a little bit off, I know that this one's gonna get him. Like, I just know it. And my scope dies. I forgot to change out the battery going from the first property to the second property after several hours. I've got 3 batteries. I just was not even looking at the battery life bar down at the bottom, and that's just a amateur mistake right there. But anyways, after all that crazy footage, you know, I came out here a couple nights later, came out here with a buddy, and we were able to call up a double and got some pretty exciting footage for that. So here is all of that. See it out there? You see him coming? 1 o'clock. I'm gonna take this front one. Woo! Hey guys, thanks for checking out this video. I really enjoy putting these videos together, talking a little bit about my rig, talking about my experience calling, getting to share some of my mistakes that hopefully you guys can learn from, change your batteries, take your time on those shots, and you know, just enjoy it. But anyways, thanks for checking out the video. Be sure and subscribe to the channel. Be sure and leave a comment, share it with a friend. And if you guys have any questions about the gear I'm running or the sound sequences that I'm using or anything like that, leave a comment down below. I'd love to get you information on that. Until next time, y'all have a good one.